it's people like my age who go, oh, well, you know, and they just crack and they just stay the same. And I just can't cope with it. Oh, it's my age and bollocks to that. No, I'll just keep going now. So.
Yeah, exactly. What would, just chatting about a lot of good stuff already. What would you say, alright, what was your, what do you think was actually holding you back from getting in shape and getting great results a few months ago?
Well, I've always trained, which is obviously what you and I discussed. There was just never, ever any, it was just come in and do biceps, come in and do back. And it was just that, you know, your four sets of X amount of reps. And there was just no, it was just that every single week. I wasn't writing things down. So I didn't see any development, and you just become very box shaped. You know, there's no definition on the shoulders or the arms, and you become stronger, but you're inevitably going to become stronger. But it was just no. It was just the wrong way of training. Maybe for me, it was just I couldn't see any development at all. And I've trained since I was 13. And it was only since I've sort of, with yourself since May, that there's been just a huge transformation. And it's doing a lot less than I was doing before, but doing it the right way. That's sort of, doing it right, that's it. And I think obviously because then you lose momentum and you just think, well, I'll still eat my pizzas and I'll still drink my red wine and things like that. Because you're not seeing what you're supposed to be seeing in the gym. Your momentum's just, you're losing it constantly. So I think that's the difference between training then and the training now. I think structure. I think that's the key. And it's like we were just saying before, I think it's a lot of your mental attitude to it does change. I mean, I used to go training, but you kind of train just because then I could go out and eat a pizza or go and drink a bottle of red wine instead of actually wanting to train because I want to look different and I want to look better. That attitude's massively changed. It really has.
I suppose if there's never been that response, you train and then you get a result, then it'd be easy to fall into that trap of it's more of like just a ticking over and.
Yeah, one was for the reason to do the other, where we've kind of flipped that over now. We've done completely the role reversal, so the training and the cardio and everything I'm doing now is the main priority, and that's the focus. And having a glass of red wine or something is a bit of a treat later on, and you put that in your program and you put that in your week ahead and you do all that. It's a complete role reversal, for the better, obviously. But yeah, that's the big difference.
How would you say your lifestyle's changed outside of training since we started?
I think my confidence within myself. I mean, I've not been too bad confidence-wise, but I think you kind of lose it a little bit when things aren't looking right and you're not looking right and you don't feel good about yourself, and it's I think that's made a difference. A lot more energy, less sore. You know, you were getting, when I was training before, you were getting up and you were just constantly aching because I did CrossFit and things like that. You were just sore all the time. It's because you're much more focused on your reps, and you're much more in a position that you're supposed to be more focused and everything. You're not doing silly things, and aches and pains have diminished. You know, like, because we've got the core tighter, it's taken pressure off my back, which I'd never thought of doing ever before. You just kind of thought I had a bad back. But strengthening the core up would made a big difference. Again, same with shoulders, because I've had ops on shoulders. Because you're doing things right and you're doing things in a proper structured manner, you're becoming much more less pain-free, especially coming at 48. You're a bit more prone to niggles and things that stop you from training, which is worse. You know, I'm training sort of 4 to 5 times a week, not including the bike. And I don't think I've been injured once in since May, April when we started, which is a big difference.
100%.
because it makes you want to come back to the gym. It makes you want to get back on the bike. When you have aches and pains, you don't want to train. So I think that's a big difference. Energy levels up. It has been diminished, obviously, because we've been doing this sort of coming down to this dietary sort, getting the weight down. So there has been troughs, but otherwise, energy levels have been great. Looking well, feeling great. Wanting to look in a mirror, which is the big difference. Yeah, you can put all your clothes on you can possibly put on, and then just go like that past it. But now you're kind of going, oh, actually, I'll wear a vest in the gym today, and it's that sort of thing, which has made a big difference. It's been huge. Yeah.
That's not a vanity thing. That's I think I'm working hard, and this is the outcome I've deserved.
Yeah.
This is the result of your hard work.
Yeah, I agree. It's not it's far from a vanity thing. I think it is the fact that you're going, actually, I quite like having my t-shirt, my vest on and looking in the mirror and while I'm training. It's not a vanity. It's like you say, you're trying to see what you've developed and build on it. Yeah.
That's been. What would you say? You touched on it there, but have you noticed any difference outside of the gym? Obviously, you run your own business. You've got kids. Have you noticed any kind of improvements in lifestyle?
Yeah, I think.
As a byproduct, would you say?
Yeah, I think because especially the way I was doing it, I get up really early in the morning, sort of 5 o'clock to get on the bike, because I've trained so early. You're not just rolling out of bed and going to work or dealing with the day or dealing with the kids. You're up ready and you've done half your training already. And you're a bit more focused because I think you're just a bit jacked up a little bit more because you've got up, you're ready, you've had your breakfast, you're pretty pumped for the day. Yeah. And then all you've got to do is plan what your next training session is going to be, and then you work your days sort of your day's much more structured, especially, you get up, go on the bike, do what I've got to do in the morning, come training again later on in the day, and then finish off my day what I've got to do. So outside of the gym, I think there's much more structure. You're not squeezing in training when you can. You're kind of going, actually, that's part of my working day. With the children, I think just because you're slimmer and you're feeling better, you're a bit more, might be a bit of a placebo really, but you're a bit more energized. Yeah. You're ready, you are energized to do stuff. Maybe not after you've just trained, but you are ready once you've eaten. Yeah. You are ready to take on the day a little bit more. And in other sports, like we've just mentioned before, with the golf and stuff, you're less prone to hurting after you've played golf, which seems a bit bizarre, and you're stronger. You can walk the distance now without being absolutely shattered at the end of it, and it's things like that. And like with the MMA stuff, you can see it tripping over into that. You can feel especially your energy levels and your cardio levels are going up. You can feel that the one session to the next session to the next session. You can feel it getting better and better and better. So it's tripped on to other activities that I do. Absolutely, for sure, definitely.
Yeah. I think when you touched on the structure, that's one of the things when I ask clients these questions, always mention that structure and having more of a routine. And I feel like a lot of guys end up in a position where you're in control of the day rather than they being in control of you, rather than just kind of going with what's happening. You're going into it with intent. This is happening then, that's happening then, I've got these things to do here. And I think a lot of people get a real, clearer mentally from that.
Yeah.
Knowing what they're doing and when, and getting it done.
Yeah, no.
You can squeeze more stuff out of the day.
Yeah, and the family sort of, when we first started, I was of that opinion going, how am I going to get all these, how am I going to get 5 sessions in a week, and how am I going to get the bike in for, 2,500 calories in a week and all this? You're going, how am I going to do all this? You just have to start your day earlier, and you have to be much more, and it sounds awful, but your family does slot into it. You kind of go, I've got to be up for an hour and a half riding my bike. I'll do it before the kids get up and my wife gets up, and then I've got to train, but I'll do it when everybody else is out of the way again, or they know that I've got to disappear for an hour on my own and I'll be back. But you've still got your big gaps, big chunks a day where you're with everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you just need your 2 hours in your day, split it up or put it together or whatever you've got to do to get what you've got to do in, and don't put it off.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always find I'm a little bit better to be around, even though I've taken 2 hours out of the day for myself. It might not be 2 hours, it might be an hour. For the rest of the day when I'm there, I'm better to be around. My energy's better, I'm in a better mood.
Yeah, well,
more focused, switched on, more present.
Yeah, I agree. You are. You know, once I've done the bike in the morning, I'm you know, you are focused, and you can tell when you've not been on the bike because you feel sluggish until I've come training. Yeah, I agree. I think you are much more on it.
Yeah.
And once you've done it, you stay focused. I think when you keep thinking about, I've got to go to the gym, I'll do it then, I'll do it tomorrow. I think you've lost your mind track of what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Instead of just going, I've got an hour.
Yeah.
I'm just going to smash it now, get it out of the way, and I'm done now today.
Yeah.
I think if you keep, which is what we were saying before, I think if you, and I'll do it tomorrow, I'll catch up tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, you can't do a 2 hour gym sessions and do 2 lots of push and pull. You're just not going to survive the next day, and you'll be that exhausted you won't want to train the next day. So it's counterproductive.
Yeah.
You know.
I think that's a big thing for a lot of blokes in a similar position to yourself, late 40s, got kids, run your own business. It would be so easy to keep putting it off and procrastinating. If then, you know, somebody knows they've got to lose weight, the health's not where they want to be, not as confident as they'd like to be, and you're putting it off and putting it off. I think that's more mentally draining than just doing the thing. Knowing that there's something that needs to be done, but making these excuses as to why you can't, and putting it off and putting it off. And let's be honest, once we're north of 40, it ain't going to get any better on its own, is it?
No,
Do you know
no.
what I mean? So that just getting up and just taking action and doing it, that feeling goes away.
Yes.
And it's not always near as hard
No.
to just get up and do it and is to be fucking worried about it all day.
And it doesn't take long to, because when I first came to see you, I was in that boat. And it doesn't take long to get out of it. It really doesn't, because obviously with yourself, giving you the book's a game changer, that where you write everything down, because you can see your increments of weights going up, and then you can see what you've written down for your measurements, and then sending you what your measurements, you're going, hang on, I've just lost a centimetre this week, and I don't think I've done anything different.
Yeah.
And like, obviously you don't prep the meal plans, but you tell you kind of saying what you're eating and what you're doing. And you're going, oh, you're eating a lot more than I was when I started this, which is really bizarre.
Yeah.
And I think you've got to get your head round it. And I think once you do, again at 48, you're kind of going, oh, maybe this is it now. I should have done it when I was 25 and stuff.
It's bullshit, isn't it?
100%. I think you could be 48, you could be 52, you could be anything. I don't think it's the biggest as in change to your life, like my working life or anything, my children's life, to do 2 hours a day of training.
Yeah.
I don't think it's. I think once you've got your head over the fact that this is what I've got to do, which doesn't take long to get over it, I've just got to do it. And the end results, which is like what we've done today, you kind of look at it and you go, oh, it was hard work, but I didn't think I'd blown my socks off and killed myself to get to this point.
Yeah.
I've really, really loved it.
Yeah.
It hasn't impacted anything at all.
Yeah.
And we've got to a result today where we're both happy.
Yeah.
And I think you get from there to here and you think it's going to be hard, I'm going to have to give up everything, I'm never going to see friends or anybody again. I'm going to become a recluse because I don't want to eat with anybody, I'm just going to eat lettuce and I'm going to do nothing. And it's just not true. Yeah. I'm eating so much food. At the end of the day, I'm going, I just don't want to eat anymore. And, Cocoa Pops are coming out your ears and chicken and wraps and who has a 3-egg wrap in the morning with mayonnaise. It's things like that. And I think the fear is it's going to change your life. As in, I know that physically it's going to change your life, but the fact that you're eating raw, plain chicken, or you're eating just salad, or you're eating, you're going to have to give up booze, which isn't true at all, and you're going to just sit at home at the weekends and not do anything, and it's, especially when you've got family and stuff like that, you're thinking, I just can't do anything because I'm going to get told off because I've not hit my dietary requirements, or which I don't think it's a diet really, because like I say, I eat loads. And I think it's just not true at all. It's completely the opposite of what I thought it was going to be like.
100%. I think that comes in for a lot of blokes because that's what they've tried when they've done it on their own.
Yeah.
And they think when they do it again, it's going to be the same again. Because that's what I did last time. It was shit.
Yeah.
I was eating salad all day.
Yeah.
And I felt crap and I couldn't go anywhere. It's got that association with that's what getting lean looks like.
Yes.
I've actually experienced just doing it properly.
Yeah.
And doing it the right way.
Yeah, and like, you don't miss out on meals because all I've done is, we interact with each other and you just go, right, you're going out this weekend, you're going, yes, right, have a steak. Don't eat a pizza, just order a steak. You're going, well, that's not such a bad thing to have.
Yeah.
And it's, you just think, I'm going to have to eat a bit of chicken, a bit of salad. And you're not, you can have your potato. Again, you're eating potatoes, which you just thought, when I was training before this, you're going, well, you've got to get rid of all this because you just think you're supposed to eat protein. You're thinking, I'm eating white potatoes here and I didn't think I was supposed to. And it's that I think, I don't think people realise actually it doesn't change food-wise at all.
Yeah, so we always just match up as closely to what people are already doing anywhere.
Yeah.
So we get it quite similar.
And when you've had to do where you've done, obviously when we started, we were just gradually bringing the weight down, and you suddenly say, right, we've got to bring it down a kilo or whatever we're working out at. And I'm thinking, all right, it's going to like drop a breakfast, or and you're going, no, you're just dropping half a bagel, or you're just dropping a wrap, and you're going, is that all I'm dropping? A wrap? And that is because you think it's going to be a whole meal's gone, or I'm going to have to up cardio and everything, and it's not. I think that surprised me. I think it was the other week. Even now, even the other week, you were going, right, just drop half a bagel, or you're now going to drop your wrap. Is that all? Yeah. Well, and then now when we're putting, yeah, and then you go, oh God, then I'm going to have no energy because I've dropped food, which impacts, like you were saying before, is that going to impact my family? Because now you become angry because you've not eaten, which is completely the opposite. You don't, because you've got so much food, you're not angry at your kids.
It's interesting you saying that because I reckon there's so many blokes that have got that, they're in that train of thought. Like catastrophising what it would actually be like to get in shape when it's the other way. You get more energy.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're eating more calories now, but they feel like shit because it's all from processed, low quality foods. Yeah. So you start eating less, but then you get more energy out of the back of it.
Yes. Yeah.
Which makes, when you just say it loud, it's common sense. Like you can eat some better quality food, so you feel better. But somebody sat there thinking, I'll be knackered, I'll be starving. Yeah, and it's knackered now. Yeah, it's just not true at all. And when you were doing the dietary things, and you're just like going, oh God, I'm having breakfast, then I'm eating again before I'm training, and then I'm eating after I've trained, and then I'm having my dinner, and then I'm having my ice cream protein, which I've got into, and then you're having your tea. I'm going, I don't know how much more I can eat. So when you say you're weaning it off, you're going, actually, I'm all right weaning off a little bit because I think I'm eating an awful lot. And then, like now, we're going back up to the bulking phase, and all you've done is not added another meal, but you've just expanded my bowl of Cocoa Pops, which is a bizarre thing to think of. But you can feel that even just on I think I've done it for 3 or 4 days now. You can feel that just pumping you up. Also, keeping on top of your water. I think a big one was, because I literally didn't drink anything, but keeping on top of your water is, you do, because you do feel pumped up just on having your litre of water when you first wake up. But yeah, it's not as impacting as you think it's going to be for somebody my age, with wife, family, and businesses to run.
if anything, it's a massive positive. It's a massive,
Yeah.
it really is.
That's meant that, mate. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's class. On to the next phase.
Yeah,
Do these
getting
again.
jacked.
Do these again in another